Alright guys, I got a very specific topic that I want to talk about today. Specifically about this bike, the Versys 650. And also specifically about the model, the generation that I'm riding. So this is a first generation Versys 650, 2008. And I want to preface this by saying that it's a good bike. I mean, it's a great bike. You know, you'll see lots of people who just love the Kawasaki Versys, and I like it too, don't get me wrong. It's a great engine. I think people who complain about the engine haven't ridden one, or just aren't riding fast enough, I guess. But I think the parallel twin is very fun. It's got a lot of character, and that's something that this bike has, is character. You know, it feels, it's definitely not as refined and boring as like some of the newer bikes are, so I think it has that going for it. But with that lack of refinement comes some other issues, and that there's one specific issue that I want to talk about today, which is why it may be a deal breaker for me on this bike. Let's see if we can hit some gravel. Alright, and that one specific issue is vibration. So if you do any kind of research online, you'll see that, especially on the older Kawasaki parallel twins, vibration was kind of an issue. And that's because it's a parallel twin engine. I don't know for sure, but I don't think that they have much counterbalancing. I'd have to double check that, and feel free to correct me in the comments. But regardless, it doesn't matter, because the engine vibrates, you know, quite a bit. And I've ridden a lot of other bikes that didn't vibrate this much. So, you know, it's noticeable enough to be a problem for me. The vibration on this bike is so bad through the handlebars that it's making my right hand like start to have issues with nerve pain. My hands are probably, they could just be more sensitive than a lot of other people's. You know, I get that. And you know, that's the other thing too, is that like different bikes will work for different people. Just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for someone else. So it's not necessarily a deal breaker for everyone, but it's definitely something to consider. So yeah, the vibration through the handlebars on this bike for me is, I think, too much. I haven't made a decision yet, but I think I am going to sell it, and we'll see what I get. But again, the Versys is a great bike. You know, it's not an adventure bike, I would say, but it's great for gravel roads and stuff like that. It's just the vibration issue for me, you know. The problem is that these older year models, the first generation, 2007, I think, all the way up through 2015, they used little to no rubber mounting in the engine or the handlebars. By the time they got to 2015, the Versys was fully rubber mounted. The engine was rubber mounted, the handlebar mounts were rubber mounted, and that got rid of a lot of the vibration problem. And if you look at Kawasaki's other 650s, I think probably all of them are rubber mounted also, and they all use the same engine. So clearly it was enough of a problem for Kawasaki to update all of their 650 class bikes with rubber mounts. So I think if I was to get another Versys 650, I would get a 2015. Even on the used market, they're only like $1,000 more than what I paid for this one. And I think the rubber mounting is a game changer. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.